Today, let's debunk 10 food storage myths. Hey everyone, welcome to Homestead Corner. I'm Jenny, and today I thought we would talk about 10 food storage myths that a lot of people think are true, but really they are not. So let's debunk these 10 food storage myths to help us not be overwhelmed and not thinking that we can't do this, because we definitely can. Anybody can do food storage. So the first thing on my list, I hear tons about this, is the best by date. A lot of people believe that the best by date is when the food goes bad. That is not true. Food does not go bad. It's not like, oh, it's time, it says on the can I must go bad. That's not actually what it is at all. The best by date is from the manufacturer. They have to put a date on the can. It also helps the stores know when to rotate the food and things like that. So if it gets too close to the date, a lot of times you'll see them go on sale or they just get rid of them. So the best by dates are definitely, I do watch the best by dates because I want it to last the longest on my shelves. But even if it's a few months or even a few years past, we're going to open those cans up and make sure that everything is still okay by the way it looks, the way it smells, and a little taste. And so we want to make sure that we're watching the best by dates and rotating our food, but they do not just jump up and say, okay, I'm expired. And number 2, food storage is too expensive. Food storage does not have to be expensive. You can do it really affordably by paying attention to sales and things like that. When we first started doing food storage, it was to help us save money. And I would buy, when something went on sale, I'll buy 10 or 20 pounds of meat while it's on sale. So I'm not paying that higher price next week or the week after. We keep our freezers full. We can our meats and vegetables and things like that. And when vegetables and fruits are in season, a lot of times they are cheaper. So we will stock up on those items. Whenever there's something on sale that you use, definitely grab as much as you can of that item, and that is going to save you the maximum amount of money. If you've got coupons, use those too. And number 3, this is another one I hear a lot of, is commercial food storage is the best. Commercial food storage, in my opinion, is good for certain things, and I think you really need to look at the ingredients and what is in them before you purchase them. Some commercial food storage foods are loaded with junk, and most of them are way overpriced for what you can do yourself. Putting a little bit of work into it yourself, you can definitely save a ton of money because those things are super expensive. And number 4 on my list, a lot of people think you have to repackage everything. You do not have to repackage all of your foods. Some of your dry foods are not put in packages that are going to last long term, but all of your food isn't for long term. Definitely in your pantry, we want to look at that. When you get soup in a can or ketchup in a bottle or anything like that, you do not have to repackage those items. They are set to go and they're going to last for years on your shelf in your pantry. But those dry goods are the only things that you're really going to have to repackage. Like pasta comes in a box. It's not airtight, and airtight is definitely a must in your food storage. So making sure that you're getting them airtight, and they are going to help them last a lot longer. But if you're rotating your food, a lot of it you don't have to repackage. Like egg noodles is one of the things that we buy, and they only have about a year and a half shelf life on them because of the eggs in there. But those, I do not repackage those. Even because they're in a sealed bag, and I don't keep enough of them in our pantry to last for decades. I keep enough for 6 months or a year or something like that. Things that we are using on all the time, we want to keep a good stock of. But if we're rotating a lot of our foods, we don't have to worry about repackaging lots of them. And number 5, if I put my food in Mylar, it's going to last for 30 years. No, most foods are not going to last for 30 years. Mylar is great and it can help store your food for longer. And some foods will last 30, 40, 50 years when stored in Mylar. But you also have to worry about rodents and things like that. Mylar is very thin and animals and rodents can definitely get in there and destroy that packaging and get it opened up. So anytime you use Mylar, you really need to be putting it into a solid container of some sort so that rodents can't get into it. Mylar can be good in lots of situations, but it doesn't automatically make all your food last for 30 years. And number 6 on my list of myths is food storage is just too complicated. I can't do it. Food storage does not have to be complicated. Just like you buy groceries every week and put them into your pantry or your cabinet, food storage is just a little bit more of everything that you normally use. Stocking up, instead of buying 1, buy 2, buy 6 when they're on sale, buy 12 if you use a lot. If it's something you use all the time, it doesn't have to be complicated. You can make it complicated as you want, but I like it simple and easy. There's a place for everything in the pantry and everything goes in that place, and that is the easiest for me. And food storage doesn't have to be complicated. I can look at it and see which ones I need more of, and I know some items will have 1 or 2 or 5 rows of something, and it just depends on how much we use it. So we give ourselves a certain amount of space for each item in our pantry, and it really makes it simple and easy for us to keep track of. And number 7, food storage is overwhelming. A lot of people think that it is just too much. It's overwhelming. And all we have to do is really look at it and simplify it. Make it as easy as possible for you. And when you're only buying the foods that you normally eat, and that's what you should be putting in your pantry, are your favorite foods, the things you like, the things you use all the time. Just because someone else says they use it doesn't mean you have to have it. So whenever we can keep our food storage simple and organized, it's going to help it so it's not so overwhelming. And number 8, this YouTuber said that I need this in my pantry, so I have to get it. No, you do not. If it's not something that your family enjoys, I don't think it's worth putting in your pantry. We all have different tastes, different wants, needs, all that. We have dietary differences. Some people are diabetic. Some people have to be gluten-free. You really have to go with what works for your family. Just because someone else is using it doesn't mean it's right for you. Use the things that you need in your pantry. If you don't eat rice and you only eat couscous, then that is perfectly fine not to store rice if you don't normally eat that. Putting a different grain that you can eat and is going to last for a long period of time is wonderful. So it's really individual, and we really need to keep it simplified down to what our family wants, not just what everybody says that they recommend or they should have. And number 9, and this is a big one in the prepper community, is food storage makes you a target. It doesn't have to make you a target. If you go to the grocery store and you're buying 100 cans of soup randomly, and everybody sees that you're buying 100 cans of soup, they might think, what's going on there? What are they stocking up for? That could make you a target, but we don't normally shop like that. I don't know any preppers that normally shop like that. It's okay, soup's on sale. I'm going to buy 1 case or 2 cases, and I'll pick up the other things that I might need around the house at the time. So it's, some fresh vegetables and things like that. People don't really think it's weird, especially if soup is on sale or canned vegetables or something like that. If they're having a good deal, a lot of people buy a little bit extra because it does help save you money. And definitely don't be sharing your food storage with other people online. And I know I'm on here talking about food storage, but I don't show my all of my food storage for that specific reason, is because I don't think it's important for people to see it, because I need to keep me and my family safe. And I don't keep all of my food storage in one place. I think that's another great way to go, because that way, if something did happen and someone broke in and got to your food storage, you've got other food somewhere else that you can sustain you with. And number 10, one of the biggest myths is I never have enough. I don't have enough food. You definitely could have enough food. The reality is we keep a certain amount of foods in our pantry. We keep 10 bottles of ketchup, 8 bottles of barbecue sauce, things like that. We have a space for everything. And when that space is full, I'm not buying that item anymore. I will buy other items that I need to bring in. And I always watch for sales. So if there's an item that we really like that goes on sale, we will make room sometimes for those extra items, just because when we get that sale, it's saving us money and it's going to help us with our food storage. And maybe I can stack it a can higher or something like that. But we really need to work with our space. And sometimes you do have enough in your food storage. You just want to look at it. You don't want to have so much that you can't use it all in the amount of time that it is before it goes bad. So making sure that you have enough for a set amount of time, but not overly doing it and having an extra 100 cans of something that you don't use that much of. And that's it for my 10 food storage myths. I think that food storage can be simple and easy. It does not have to be overwhelming, and we all can do this, and you can do it on a budget. Just when you start grabbing those sale items and stocking up on those items first, those are the ones that are going to save you money, so you can put more money into food storage, or you can add something else, put that money towards something else that you want, like a generator or a firearm or something like that. So making sure we've got what we need is super important, but it doesn't have to be difficult at all. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.